Yes, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Dose podcast. Today we have yet another very special guest. This guy is, in my opinion, still one of the most underrated, but has had a huge rise in the last few years. An incredible rapper and musician. Frak, what's going on, man?
What's goody, man? Thanks for having me, brother.
No worries. Thank you very much for taking the time to come on, man. I know you've been super busy lately too, but just before we jump into like the standard questions that I ask about battle rap and things like that, like you've been busy with a couple of like online festival type things lately. Like, how's that come about for you, and how's that been working?
It's interesting, man. It's a new world, bro. Like, cause with this shit going on, like concerts, bars, festivals will be the last thing to come back. Like, even if venues approve them, like who's gonna want to go to a festival? And then all like the blood on the venue's hands and like their liability if hella people are getting COVID-19 in like a crowded space. So I've kind of been exploring this like online world and how they're gonna transfer this performance shit to, you know, stay at home basis. It's been interesting, man. I've done a lot of shows that have been super whack and no one pulls up. And then I've done a lot that are actually really dope. And like, on Zoom especially, we did one. I don't know if you know about Tourette's Without Regrets. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, sure.
So I think the real battle fans know about it because it's like where Thesaurus got his start. Dudes like Tantrum, Franco, Madness battled there. It's like a really crazy burlesque show that has like a lot of titties, a lot of feminist poetry, a lot of fire, and like crazy shit and circus shit. And then at the end, there's a freestyle rap battle. And it was kind of my entry point to battle rap. And we did a Tourette's, but on Zoom, and it was really crazy. It was like 500 people in the chat, and you could see people's little faces like cheering and dancing, and it was like I was like, oh my god, it felt like a Black Mirror episode, but it's definitely, I think it's gonna have to be a thing if musicians, when all these tours are canceled and shit, I think is gonna have to be the next frontier.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. I mean, I can't really see there being any kind of major shows for the remainder of the year, to be honest. Like it's gonna be difficult in that sense. But I mean, have they been difficult? Have you had a lot of like technical issues or anything with them, or have they all gone pretty smoothly?
Depends. There's been a few that have been a little technically awkward, a little the beat lagging. You know what I'm saying? That's the hardest part. But overall, it's been pretty dope.
Nice. Cool, man. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing to explore in these times, and at least it still gets your name out there as well. But like we just mentioned, so like your kind of entrance to battle rap was through Tourette's Without Regrets. Like, how did that come about from the start then?
It's a funny story, bro. It was really like an accident and peer pressure that led me to battle rap because I was always a fan of this shit, but for me, like music was always my number one priority, and I kind of saw battle rap as this thing I would always be a fan of but never be a part of. But when I was like 17, I won this competition called the MC Olympics. It was more on like the spoken word scene. And I got to fly to DC and win the national MC Olympics too. But the Bay Area MC Olympics were judged by this dude Jamie DeWolf, and Zion I and Big Rich, a few other Bay Area cats were judges. But Jamie DeWolf was the host of Tourette's Without Regrets, and he comes over to me with like his gang of like circus women and like hella like weird characters, and is like, "We got to get you at this Tourette's Without Regrets thing, man." I was like, "Oh, I don't know," like blah, blah, blah. But then I looked it up on YouTube. I was like, "Oh shit! Like this is where Thesaurus battle, this are Tantrum battles. Like this place is low key legendary." So I said I'd go, but I would perform a song, right? So I performed a song. Um, it was dope. I mean, Tourette's is crazy. It's like 500 to 700 people in like an Oakland warehouse. It's like the real. like subcultures of the Bay all mixing together. So I was like, this is crazy. And they had to sneak me in because I wasn't 18 yet. So it was like I was like a bright-eyed boy being like, what the shit? What the fuck is this shit? And then Jamie was announcing the rap battle, and he just called me up on stage. Like I didn't even like consent. He just called me the fuck up. So I battled in the freestyle battle um, against this dude Cam, who was like the Tourette's champion at the time, and I just like somehow pulled out a W. I had kind of been like I was like known for my freestyling at the time, so I pulled it out, and I think I lost in the finals, but um, that like rush of energy I felt up there in a battle, it wasn't as like crazy as I thought it'd be. It was actually like more like a collab. You're building with the person you're battling. It wasn't like it just was a surprisingly dope experience. And since then, I started battling at Tourette's, doing the freestyle shit, and eventually Dirtbag Dan pulled up to one of them and convinced me to battle at one of those bots tryouts, and from there it was I entered the written sphere as well.
Nice, nice, man. I like it. And like for me personally, I'd not seen the Cam battle until recently. I've
Oh my
seen a
god, you know
couple
what
of
I'm
the.
talking about, dog.
Yeah, I do.
That's the one.
I kind of watched it recently just to prepare for this interview, but I'd seen the MC Damn It battle,
The
and
compliment joint.
yeah, and there was a battle with B Nasty as well. Is that right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I've seen those two before, but I went back and watched some of the other ones, and the Cam battle came up, and it is it's one for if you don't understand the platform of Tourette's Without Regrets, which I can't say I do massively. I don't know a huge amount about it. It's one of the strangest things to see because behind you in the footage is like there's some guy there with like a full leather bondage type suit on, and it's it's just bizarre to be fair. But
And
the
it's like in a
events
wrestling
look,
ring, right?
yeah, yeah, and the events look super fun though. Like, they is it a big crowd at those events?
Yeah, it's huge, man. Like I said, like 500 to 750 people. So it's like a URL stage, but instead of a bunch of Smack fans, a, it's a good mix of Bay Area culture. It's like a lot of lesbians, a lot of black people, a lot of, you know, new Bay Area white people. It's like a good it's like the Bay Area under subcultures all mixed together in one little gross little melting pot.
Nice, I like it. But yeah, I wasn't aware of them for a really long time, to be honest. But the I actually found them through bots. I think Jamie the Wolf was referenced in the Thesaurus versus Topper battle, maybe.
Yeah, yep, yep.
And it made me kind of go back and watch through some of the stuff, and it's yeah, it's different to what any other league owners are doing anyway. But the events look really fun, man. But in terms of like the transition into like written battle rap, then was that something that you struggled with, or did it just kind of come naturally?
I think I think it's hard to say because I came in at a time that was really lucky. So my tryout battle was against Robo, and I didn't understand. I freestyled most of it. Like I went off the top noggin chop for that battle, and looking back, I'm like, holy shit! I remember being like, this is a different game. I got to really prepare. So then Dirtbag Dan put me up against Lex D, who was like already a king of the dot vet because Dan was trying to get his like tryout program going and wanted me to be like, the straight A student who was like the face of it or whatever. So he escalated me quick. I battled Lex D. I did all right. I prepared and wrote that time. And then right after that, my third battle, I got boosted to battle Coma on Back to Basics 3, which was like Disaster versus Jonai, Caustic versus Big K. So it was like a huge fucking card, and I opened the whole shit up. It was my third battle, So and I did good, but I mean, looking back, there's some cringe shit. But I think I got escalated almost too quick. You know what I mean? Shit just really happened, especially in an era where like the GZ cats before me were like getting stalled and, you know, um, held back. I felt like I got escalated really fast. But it ended up, working out in the long run.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, how long is it that you've been making music for personally now?
Man, I started making music on a Kanye West fan site called KanyeTalk.com when I was 13.
Okay.
Um, so shit, I'm 25 now. That's 12 years. Oh fuck, am I 26? Damn, I don't even know, bro. But yeah, so it's been like 13 years making music, which is crazy to say that out loud. But yeah, this Kanye West fan site was hilarious because folks like Toby Lou, Brock Hampton, Kevin Abstract, and shit, where we were all making music together on there back before any of us had a name. And it was a really cool creative space.
Nice.
And after that, I started a rap group in high school called For Real. It was me, these two black dudes from my high school who are, one of them is still one of my closest collaborators, Callie J, and but we were called For Real, but there was three of us, so the fourth member was the music, so we kept it super deep, and it was all like really corny conscious rap shit we didn't even understand yet. But from then on, I've been making music.
Nice. I like it, man. And yeah, I mean, some of the projects that you've released has been amazing. Like I'm a big fan of the LimeWire album that you released. I think that's incredible. So it's
Appreciate you, bro.
been a fun journey to watch in that sense. But like for you personally, out of your battles so far, like what would you say is your favorite battle that you've been a part of?
It's a tough question. I think just off the most fun I was having, probably bricks, because I was still pretty unknown then, and that was kind of like my breakout moment. So that shit was fun. Um, Thesaurus was Thesaurus. Looking back, the Thesaurus battle was probably like the most like, impactful, and like I was battling someone that I looked up to my whole life, and the pressure and buildup of that was wild. But the actual experience wasn't fun because when you got Thesaurus in your face roasting your boots, you know what I mean? It's not as exciting as some of these other more like battles that are more just about pen and lyrics. Like when you got one of your role models like serving you, and I think I fought back, and a lot of people had me win in that battle. But just regardless, in the moment, I was like, holy shit, this is some next level shit. So I'd say Thesaurus on impact, but bricks on fun.
Right. No, I can I can understand that. And like, I mean, it must have been a pretty special moment to go up against Saurus, especially in California as well. Like he's obviously one of the founders of the written era in that sense, and he's just the GOAT in my opinion. So it must have been cool to have been offered that matchup.
Yeah, yeah, it was surreal to say the least. Someone that I would watch his videos and be like, how is this dude's mind working like that? His WRC shit, it's like this dude's brain is like not only photographic memory wise, but he can turn all this shit into hot bars and cool shit. Like it blew my mind. And like, you know, being able to go face to face with that and try and think of angles that had never been said before to a guy who's had like 200 battles was like a creative opportunity that was really challenging and fun.
Definitely. And I think some of these guys must just naturally think in multi-syllabics as well, because it's insane some of the stuff they come up with. But
Me and Dunch want to do a skit of like um like battle rap. What's that movie where the dude sees like numbers in front of his face? I forget the movie, but it's like about a rapper like Rum Nitty or Thesaurus like going to the store and seeing like a box of Cheerios and their brain just like manifesting an entire like set of multis and bars that come from it, and just like they just can't look at reality without thinking of battle rap. It's a gift and a curse, man.
That'd be amazing. I'd love to see that. That'd be great. That's a good idea. But like me personally, I think your favorite battle of mine would probably have to be the XL battle. Um,
Yeah.
I loved the whole team homie intern stuff that you did. I thought that was amazing, and yeah, it just broke him down really well. To be honest, I really like that battle personally. But like on your part, do you have a least favorite battle that you've been a part of? Then is there any that you don't tend to watch back?
Yes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. I was not prepared for that battle. He did good. He did good. He I don't think he would say it's his favorite battle either. It was pretty awkward on both sides. I think he definitely beat me, and it may be, you know, definitely my only battle that I feel like I could have done way better in and could have prepared better. And it was like the first ever battle in the bunker. So it was kind of, the crowd was awkward. People were still getting, comfortable with the venue. And yeah, the whole thing was just not, it kind of killed a lot of the buzz that I had going for myself.
Okay, no, I can understand that, and like the the bunker. I mean, that room looks like an absolute sweat box as well, which doesn't help. Like it looked incredibly hot in at those events.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it was such a good idea, but maybe the wrong space. Like it only worked when it was full. And when it was full, it was beautiful. But if for those GZ day ones and those things, it was such a high ceiling, large venue that it just left, just acoustically was awkward. But I would not doubt if we found a way to bring some crazy shit like that back in the future.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It was a great idea, and some amazing battles happened at the bunker as well. But yeah, it did need to be a main stage card in that venue, I think. So I definitely see what you're saying. But like out of the events that you've been to now, then what personally stands out as like the best battle that you've seen live?
Damn, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of all the fucking places I've been. So I was at World Dom Toronto. So the Me vs Coma was the first big battle event I ever went to. Um, that Back to Basics 3.
Okay.
Who was on that shit? Because I remember there were some classics on that card. Thesaurus Fresco was crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Big K Caustic.
yeah, that was cool. Um, I witnessed. I was right in the ring for Ilmac versus A Ward, and just like appreciating Ilmac's writing and that shit was amazing. I for some
Yeah,
reason
can
have this
imagine.
memory. I have this memory in Toronto. The first time I went to Toronto, watching Big T versus Head Ice, and Big T had this whole bit about like to Head Ice how we get it, but we don't. And I remember being like, "Holy shit, Big T's such a legend." That wasn't that crazy of a battle though, but that's just a moment I remember. I'll think about this and give you a better answer because I know I'm slacking on a few.
That's fair enough, man. Yeah, and like, yeah, that back to basics three card. Well, that was Arsenal versus Pass as well. Is that right?
Oh shit! Pass's third in that battle was I was right in the ring for that. Wow, he cut and being there for Pass versus Ill Will was crazy too. Pass has had a lot of crazy performances in the Bay.
Definitely. Yeah, Pass is he's one of my favourites to be honest. Like I can't really remember seeing a bad performance from him, but that Arsenal battle in particular was incredible. So
Yeah,
jealous you got to see
that
that
might be
live,
his
man.
best.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. But like you got to come to the UK as well, right? So you did the jump off event. Was it Spin the Mic?
Yeah, yep.
How did that come about?
It was cool, man. Me and Caustic were like freestyling all the time on the Dirtbag Dan show, and Harry from Jump Off reached out to Caustic about getting some of us out to the UK to do the spin the mic shit. So me and Caustic went together. We were like, we boarded the plane like with no pre-meds. We just kind of on the plane started thinking about all the people who are in the competition, writing bars about them. Then we got to the UK, and first spin, it's me versus Caustic, and we didn't think of anything for each other. It was fucking tragic, and it was a controversial first round. I came all the way out there to battle the dude that I came there with, but Caustic ended up winning, which was tight. That a Bay Cat ended up winning, and then it was really fun, like because I've been a fan of the UK scene forever. You know, that's my type of shit. So it was funny afterwards, like hanging out with like a fucked up Unanimous and like Zen and Pedro and Danny Jack, all these characters. So I was like, what the fuck are these guys gonna be like in real life? It was really funny.
I can imagine. Yeah, it's cool that you got to come over and do it, but yeah, it was very random to see that like the only two overseas battlers that were on the card ended up facing up against each other in the first round. But
Conspiracy theory, bro. They rigged it.
definitely, yeah, it sounds like them to be fair. But like, there's quite a big calling for like a lot of UK fans want to get you back out here at some point and battle on like a Premier Battles card or something like that. But is there
I
anyone
need
over
to,
here
bro.
that interests
That's
you?
like honestly, like besides battling like some of the bigger name people that I got on my list, my kill list, the number one bucket list for me is battling in the UK for real. Like I really want to do that. I really want to do that.
Nice, yeah, and it's got to be on the cards at some point soon because it's a lot of people are calling for it, and I know that there was a guy that won last year's Premier Battles Academy called Milky who really wanted to battle you as well, but unfortunately
Milky.
he's been put in a bit of a predicament with his job where he's had to kind of leave battle rap at the moment. But is there anyone in the UK that would interest you?
Yeah, man. Um, I've they've been close. They've been close to setting up me and Shuffle T a couple times, which to me that's like, damn. Like if I came to the UK, like I don't even know if I deserve that. You know what I mean? These things were things, for him to come over to America or Canada, more even ground. But man, me and Shuffle T would be just like the concept around the battle of the century. I'd be down to battle Marlowe too, of course, but Shuffle's the one they wanted to set up. Um, I would be down to battle. Damn, I'd be down to battle a lot of dudes. I'd be down to battle a guy like Matter. I'd be down to battle Yunnan. Who? I mean, it's tough. I don't know who's active anymore. You know what I mean? Who are some names who are still going? Because another one that really it would interest me would be Harry Baker, but I don't know if he's still going.
Yeah, Harry Baker hasn't battled for I want to say about 3 years.
Oh,
Um,
that's too bad, man. He's funny.
yeah, I think his last one was Charlie Clips, if I remember rightly. But he's he's constantly working in like the poetry scene and stuff, so I don't think he has time for it anymore. Um, Yunnan and Mata are both still active. Mata is now the Premier Battles champion, and
Oh, nice.
I think he's about to defend it against Yunnan once events are up and running again. So
That's a
that'd
good
be
matchup.
interesting. Um, Shuffle T also hasn't battled for a while, but I know that he. So I don't know if you're aware of the Apex situation with Premier Battles, where they had this like giant event, which was, I think the international battlers were Twerk, Tay Rock.
Where they all didn't show up.
Yeah, that event.
Yeah.
Um, the event following that was going to be the All Star game, the second All Star game where so Soul and Ilmac battled on the first one,
Classic.
and the second one, the headliner was meant to have been Shuffle T and Marlowe versus Thesaurus and Ilmac, but
Ooh, that was supposed to be set up.
yeah, and
That's a dream
unfortunately,
battle right there, bro.
I know, and due to the whole Apex situation, like they lost out on like about 5 figures worth of funding, so
Oof.
they unfortunately had to scrap the idea of Shuffle versus Ilmaxaurus, which is heartbreaking. We've wanted to see that battle over here for years, but hopefully with a few more events and getting back on track, hopefully they'll be able to book that soon. And I know Shuffle's like he's definitely still on battling, but only for the right opportunities, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's released a book just before Christmas, which is, I don't know if you've seen. It's like the world's first multi-syllabic rhyming dictionary.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm a co-author. He said I'm not actually, but he sent me an early copy to get my American accent rhymes feedback if anything was off. Um,
Right.
but yeah, that shit's dope.
Yeah,
I
it's
try not to
amazing.
and I try not to cheat and use it, but sometimes I can't help you like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people have used it as a tool over the last few months. To be fair, so I don't blame you. But I've um, I've recently started battling myself. I've just done my first battle, and I bought the book about 3 months beforehand, and I promise that it's not coincidence. But yeah, it's a great book. To be fair to him,
What's your battle rap name, bro?
Sir Spence.
Sir Yes. That's the most British battle rap name I've ever heard. It's like suspense, but suspense.
Yeah, that's it.
So what league do you battle on?
So I've just had my first battle out on Premier Battles. I've joined the academy this year.
How'd
So
it go?
yeah, it went well. They essentially, so it's kind of like a tournament for newcomers or battlers that are still kind of finding their feet. Um, and you have to submit like an audition, and they pick, I think it was 14 of the auditions that get submitted. Um, and out of I want to say 26 that got submitted, I was the first pick to go through to the actual tournament.
Ooh,
So
number one draft pick, baby.
yeah, I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, fingers crossed. As soon as the events are up and running again, I'll be able to actually share the battles around a bit more, and I'll send it over once it's up and see what you think. But like with yourself, and you mentioned a second ago that you've got a bit of a hit list as such. Like, who makes that list for you then? Who are like your battles that you're interested in?
Yeah. So the number one, which was really about to happen and now just seems super unrealistic, is John John. Um, John, I think would be just a great because his whole Holocaust denial thing, him being there during my Bricks battle, I think it would be hilarious, great style clash. But he, the battle was about to be set up. then the event King of the Dot postponed the event, and then John battled Hollow, and after he battled Hollow, his price went up significantly. So I kind of have kissed that one goodbye. So on a more realistic ones, I want to battle A Ward. I want to battle Loso. I want to battle Bill Collector. That's something that we're both down for. Bill really wants to battle me, and I think that would be a funny style clash. And I want to battle probably the person I want to battle the most is Sharon. I think me and Sharon would have a wild matchup. I think I got a couple more battles before I get to that one, but
Okay, yeah, I like that a lot, man. That's a very good list, and like the John battle is, it's kind of been teased for a long time, isn't it? Like it's been mentioned a lot, but it's unfortunate that that's never happened, I suppose. But does would do you work with any other leagues apart from like King of the Dot or bots and leagues like that? Is there anywhere else that you'd want to go?
I actually haven't yet. I'd be down to. Like I said, my music is my number one path right now. So just like I think anything that requires a lot of work to start from the ground up, I'm wary of because I've found a good little spot on King of the Dot to get good notoriety. So like I would do URL, but I wouldn't do like a PG that only gets released on an app and never sees the light of day. Like that wouldn't be like worth the time commitment. But I've talked to KG the Poet about getting me on URL West Coast, which I think would be pretty interesting. So that's a possibility, but I wouldn't say it's likely. And I do RBE too, but just also doesn't seem likely. Um, but yeah, I think the things that make the most sense are just to keep going on King of the Dot and do something in the UK.
Right. Okay. Nice. No, it makes sense. And like something else that I wanted to touch on quickly was the kind of skit slash movie trailer that you guys put together for that was released through Ruin Your Day. Is that right?
Yeah.
That was one of the funniest things to come out of battle rap for a really long time. Like, do you guys have any plans to make more things like that?
Yes. Yeah, that was a really fun experience. It actually was inspired by Hollow because me and Hollow auditioned for Wildin' Out together. And we kicked it that whole day afterwards, and we both kind of agreed that Wildin' Out wasn't necessarily our best skill set. That our comedy is a little bit more niche and weird than Wildin' Out. Neither of us ended up getting the second, or we made a second audition. We didn't ended up getting the third audition, but or maybe Hollow did and he just didn't want to do the show. But regardless, me and Hollow just talked about a lot of skits we wanted to do. And this white battle rapper thing was always an idea of mine, especially after watching Bodied and Versus. It was the UK Versus that inspired it, because I was watching that movie just cracking up at this, like, it had dope parts too. So I don't want to hate on the movie. Actually, I thought it was a good look for battle rap, but there were moments where I was just laughing my ass off at this like white victim main character that they made, and he just like had it so hard, and it was so hard to be white, and it made me think of this white battle rapper concept. And me and Hollow talked it over and decided to roll with it. And me and Hollow have a ton of other ideas that we've written down that we really want to like make a ton of skits and like almost make a pilot of skits. Um, but because of the quarantine, we kind of haven't. We were gonna start shooting them like last month, and we have really put it on pause. But um, we do have a plan to make a lot more skits and release them on Ruin Your Day. So keep your eye out.
Definitely. Nice one. I like it. And then, yeah, like with Wild and Out, then I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever actually seen the show. I've never sat down and watched it, but like you have appeared on it though, is that right?
um, I appeared. I appeared on. Yeah, so I appeared. it was bullshit too, because they posted the audition online, that me and Hollow are in, and we straight up roasted. Me and Hollow were in the same team. We roasted everyone. Like I went like person by person and roasted the whole other team in the wild style battle. And they posted the clip and cut out every moment that me and Hollow had, and just like posted clips of hella other cast members like failing. It was super weird. I don't know why they did that. Um, but um, it was. I think I actually was a big fan of Wild 'N Out growing up. Like it was a great show back in the day, and I still think it's a good show. And it's a really good look for guys like Sharon, Charlie Clips, Carter Deems is killing it on there, conceited. So I think it's worth a watch. It's really entertaining. The humor is like kind of stereotypical. It's like, here's who I like. It's kind of making fun of whoever your own race and image a little bit. It's like meme humor, and it's not really my sense of humor, but I still enjoy just like the freestyle improv aspect of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a try because obviously there's a lot of battlers involved with it now too. But is it essentially just like you get given a scenario and you have to kind of freestyle about it, or
Yeah, there's like different games. Like there's like hit on a girl, and you like do a pickup line, and then there's like pick up and kill it, where you like go back and forth rhyming. So there's like a bunch of cool little improv. It's like whose line is it anyway, but for like hip hop culture. My audition was so funny with Nick Cannon, because I walked in, it was Nick Cannon and all his like executives, and they were like, so you a battle rapper, huh? And I was like, yeah. I was like, so show me what you got. And I was like, do you want me to battle you? And he's like, yeah, battle me. So I I battled him, but I said like I like really misread the mood of the room, and I said really mean shit, like like I was coming with the Arsenal disrespect, and they were just all looking at me silently, like, who the fuck does this kid think he is? It was a really it was a really awkward audition, but I luckily I got to round 2 of auditions and made up for it in the wild style shit. But maybe that's why they cut my shit from the YouTube video.
nice man. Somebody needed to say it anyway, so fair play to you for doing it. But like with the final battle rap related question that I've been asking people really is like it's the most difficult one to answer by far. But if you were if you were promoting your own event and you had unlimited funding to put it together, what battles would you put on the card? Like, who do you want to see face
Ooh,
each
bro,
other?
you're asking the right guy, bro. I stay coming up with crazy cards. I fucking like made a whole tweet about this shit. Um, I uh I have one I had a really good URL card. I'm trying to remember. I had Hollow versus Mook. I really want to see that.
Yeah.
I think Hollow would smoke him, but I really want to see that. Surf versus Lux, which is already happening. Pat Stay versus Goods. I think that
Mm,
would be crazy.
yeah, I like that.
Also, I would also love to see Pat Stay versus Shuffle T. I think that'd be great. Um,
Yeah,
Calico versus Geechee.
yeah, that has
Um,
to happen.
and I'd really want to see Av versus Ilmac. I think Ilmac should debut on URL at some point, and I think Av would be a really good opponent for him. Um, let's see. I have unlimited money, huh? I'd set up Thesaurus and Ilmac versus Shuffle T and Marlowe for sure. I'd set up Lunar Sea versus Shoddy Hara. that's
Nice.
that's definitely never gonna happen, right?
No, definitely not.
You know who I want to see a funny clash with the UK dude? I want to see Soul versus B Dot.
Yeah, that has come up a few times, I think.
Really? Yeah, I didn't know that was anywhere but my brain, but I think that'd be a great matchup.
Yeah, I agree.
I would want to see who do I want to see Pass battle? I want to see Pass get it. I want to see Pass versus Verb.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that a lot.
it's just good rapping all around. Um, I want to see Ogmios versus Head Ice. I'm coming with heat right now, bro. I want to see Big K versus Diz.
Okay, yeah,
I want to see Hollow versus Diz too, like the full thing.
yeah, same.
And I want to see Dumbfounded come back. You know, Dumbfounded versus Lunar Sea would be hard as fuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was locked in at one point as well,
For real?
and it fell through unfortunately. But I think I think Luna around the time where he made his kind of one-time comeback against O'Shea, he was it was locked against Dumbfounded and something fell through, and then I'm pretty sure I heard that he was also meant to battle Big T. Um,
Lunar Sea versus Big T. That would have been funny as fuck.
yeah, and that fell through as well, unfortunately. But I think uh, never say never, but I think Lunacy might be done with battle rap now. He's doing pretty well music wise, so I just can't see him ever coming back to it. To be honest.
Yeah, his music is great. He's one of the battle rappers who I listen to. You know who else I really fuck with their music from the UK? I like C Major's music a lot.
Yeah, great music.
He's tight.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys who like in battle rap that I feel their music gets massively overlooked. It's kind of my main aim for the show long term is once I've built the
Dope.
subscribers up is to do a weekly show on battlers music because there's
That's
some
great,
great
man.
stuff out there. Like obviously yourself, I mean Pass makes incredible music.
Fire, bro.
Eddie I really like at the moment. Um,
Me and Eddie got a song coming out on the next Ruin Your Day project.
nice, I like it. Yeah, these ruin your day projects have been a massive help on that front as well. Like the
Yep.
there's not a single track on there that I haven't liked so far. So I'm
Yeah, they do a really good job of curating. I think we're kind of past the era where people say battle rappers music um doesn't mean shit because number one, battle rappers have realized some battle rappers still do this shit, but they realize I gotta stop battling on my songs. You know, there's no invisible opponent on the other side of my Ableton right now. Like, let me just make my music about something that matters or just about nothing. You know what I mean? Just make good music. And then at the same time, the music industry has fallen apart. There's less division between an independent artist and a signed industry artist, and because of that, battle rappers' music is having impact. Like Sue Surf, Geechee Gotti, um, even Ilmac. Like these guys are making impact with their music in their own on their own path, and I think are starting to realize that battle rappers have that ability.
definitely yeah I agree, and it is good to see, especially like B Dot's music's got quite big recently too, and
So fire, bro. B Dot's so good.
I was quite surprised actually. I was looking through Spotify this morning, and the Saga has got like some of his tracks are getting like 100K plus listens and stuff, which
He's dope.
I didn't actually know he made music until this morning. So that
I
was,
think I like his music more than I like his battles.
I will agree. Yeah, I agree on that front. But yeah, he makes some good stuff too, man. And I've been pushing on Twitter for the last few months for Ruin Your Day to try and put together a UK based mixtape. I think
I
that'd
mean,
be
the UK guy should get on the regular one. Like, who would you say besides C Major and Lunar C should get on?
Shotty Horror, definitely.
Shoddy, yep.
Blizzard, even though
Blizzard, yeah, yeah.
he's not battled for a long time, he does make
I
some
remember that
amazing
dude.
music. Um, Youth Oracle makes some great music.
Youth Oracle, okay.
Um, he's not battled for a while either. I think his last battle might have been against Fredo Algebra, actually. But
Yeah, I remember that guy though.
I would say Matter makes good music. He's
Oh,
recently
I didn't know.
done some new projects which are really good.
You know who's one of my favorite musicians who hasn't battled? I think he's quit battling, but Heretic or Harry J. Robinson. He makes
yes,
really dope tunes.
he does. Yeah, yeah. I think he has quit battling as well. I'm actually going to be speaking with him next week, so I'll find out on that
Oh,
front.
tell him
But
I say what up, bro.
definitely, yeah, he makes
We
some
kicked
good
it.
stuff too.
He came to LA and we hung out this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we made some music.
Oh, cool. That's amazing. I like that a lot. But yeah, there's a ton of guys over here that make some good stuff. Like O'Shea makes music every now and again.
No fucking way, bro. You need to link me to some O'Shea bangers.
Definitely. Yeah,
You know, it'd be another good UK US battle that I want to set up. O'Shea versus Big K.
yeah. See, I've suggested that a few times myself actually, and nobody's ever understood it. But the only reason is I remember seeing an interview with Big K where he said O'Shea was one of his all-time favourites. So I just think it'd be funny.
Be hilarious, bro. Neither of those guys give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm actively trying to push for O'Shea versus Marv One as well, but again, people just
That'd be
don't
great.
seem keen on the idea, unfortunately. But yeah,
There
but yeah,
needs to be
there's
a big card in the UK when all this shit is over.
definitely, yeah, yeah, man. And have you? Do you know anything at the moment about King of the Dot for the end of the year? Then, so are they going to stick with Town Business 3, or will it be the delayed Blackout LA event towards the end of the year instead?
I think they'll go blackout. I think they'll go blackout LA. Yeah, from what I've talked about with them, they still want to make that happen. They just have no idea when. So they're trying to do they're coming up with their own little quarantine battle things like URL has been doing and RBE, but I think theirs is very different in nature. But I haven't heard about that for a couple weeks, but I think Organic has something up his sleeve.
Nice. Yeah, my plan was I've still never been to America, so my plan was to come over for Town Business 3 around the end of the year. But if it's going to be Blackout instead, I'll hopefully come over for that. And have you been offered anything yet? I know you can't say who, but is it looking likely that you're on the card?
Yeah, yeah. It's looking likely. We had a battle in mind and the person couldn't do it on that date, but they were down. So maybe the postponement is a good thing because it's a dope matchup. Um, yes, man. Though on the U tip, you should definitely come out for like you don't your first trip to America shouldn't be King of the Dot Detroit. You shouldn't go to Toronto. You want to come to the West Coast. Like you want to come to Town Business or LA. Like that'll be worth the trip because then you'll just be in the California and be able to do a ton of tight shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And I've always wanted to go to an event on the West Coast more than anywhere else. So it's got to happen. And my plan is to try and take a month or so off work and come for a substantial amount of time. And I also want to go. I want to go to an iBattle event in New York as well. So going to try and
Nice, yeah, bro. That'd be crazy to time it so you can hit both, hit New York then LA.
yeah, yeah, try and
I wanna see an iBattle event too. Those things look like hilarious sausage fests of good times.
that is the perfect way to put it. Yeah, I completely agree. But it just looks more like a party with battles happening as opposed to a battle event. So
Yeah, but everyone is tuned in, knowing like people are just gassing everything. It seems like such a fun place to be a battler.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, fingers crossed to make it over for that. It'd be good to see you on the card as well. But like in terms of like more back to the music side of things for you, is there anyone that you've ever kind of done shows with or supported in shows that you're particularly proud of?
Yeah, yeah. I've I've opened for like I've had luck where I've opened for people before they were big, and then they blew up like weeks afterwards. Like I opened for Anderson Paak at my school, and um it was actually my event, so like I coordinated the payment. We didn't really pay him like his full rate, so I emailed him like, hey bro, just want to let you know if you need anything else like other than money, I got you. He emailed me back one sentence. He said 4 tabs of acid and a gram of coke. So so I was like, I can't get you the coke, but I got you on the acid. So he pulls up. The event is lit. A lot of people there. I give him the I give him the acid, thinking he's gonna wait to take it after the show. Him and his whole band pop the tabs right before they go on, and they play a set just giggly, tripping off acid, and for a while we like messaged back and forth, and then like 2 weeks later he got signed to Dr. Dre. And similar, I got to open for Kendrick back in the day when I won that MC Olympic. Like back in the day, that was like the prize. I got to open for Kendrick, and I got to open for Travis Scott. Like Travis Scott was supporting a guy named Casey Veggie, so Travis Scott is like way before he was big. But more recently, I played a festival called Hyro After Dark, which is kind of a legendary hieroglyphics crew. I don't know if you know about them, but they're like Souls of Mischief, 93 Till, Delta Funky, Homo Sapien. They throw a big
Yeah,
music
big
festival every
Oakland group,
year.
right?
Yeah, they're all from the Oakland area, and they kind of brought like this kind of lyrical, smooth shit back to the Bay. But anyway, they booked me and the homie Cali J, and I got to open for Earth Gang and Doja Cat and a couple other people that I really look up to right now. So that was cool, and got to kick it with them. So yeah,
Nice.
I've had like good luck playing shows and like getting to network with bigger artists.
Nice, man. Yeah, that's an amazing list as well. Like I'm a big fan of everyone you mentioned there, so that's incredible. And like, what's the biggest crowd that you've performed to now then?
I performed at this is actually through Tourette's, but I performed at this festival called what the fuck was it called? Electric Forest in Illinois. Is it in Illinois? Let me see. Illinois, not Illinois. Electric Forest. It says canceled. Yeah, I was supposed to go back this year. No, it's in Rothbury, Michigan, and it's like this massive like electronic music. Like it's actually all types of music festival, but it was like crowd of thousands, and I got to perform like um we did a freestyle battle, and I performed a couple songs, and there was like 1,000 people in the crowd. Um,
It's amazing.
I think that was the biggest. But yeah, T-Pain played that festival like shortly afterwards, but I never got to meet him. But I was like trying to meet T-Pain that weekend because it was a bunch of EDM artists and me and T-Pain and this dude Saba, who I'm a big fan of.
Nice. Yeah, and do you get nervous getting on stage in front of that many people?
You know the great thing about battle rap, man? I'm not nervous for my music shows anymore because battle rap is so nerve-wracking, bro. Honestly, like the moments before battling Thesaurus and XL were far more nerve-wracking than no matter how many people I perform music in front of, because no matter what, I know my songs, I know the crowd's going to support me, I know what's going to happen. In battle rap, you have no idea what's going to happen. You have one chance to get it perfect. And just the scariness. Like every battle, I'm about to shit my pants on stage. Like right before, like I am holding back a shit. You know what I mean? I get the nerves in my stomach. So just experiencing that, then then playing music is just like a piece of cake. You know?
Yeah, a lot of people have said similar, to be fair. So I can see where you're coming from, and it's yeah. I guess with music, you rehearse your material so much and perform it so much that it kind of comes naturally. Whereas with, like you said, with battling, you just get that one opportunity to make sure that everything's perfect in that sense. So it's definitely one of the hardest art forms, right?
Battle rap.
Yeah.
I'd say it's maybe the hardest because it's like spoken word and stand-up comedy in that it's just your voice, right? It's your voice in the world. There's no beat, there's no band, there's no show, there's no other actors. It's just you. It's just your voice and how it moves the crowd. And the difference between spoken word and battle rap is spoken word, you're getting rooted on. People want you to do well. If you mess up, they're still snapping and rooting you on. In battle rap, they'll boo you or they'll make fun of you on the internet. Um, and the difference between stand-up comedy is that stand-up comedy usually doesn't live on YouTube in a place forever. You can bomb and no one talks about it. You know what I mean? So I think battle rap is unique in that it's both just your voice against the world and it's broadcasted forever through to a big platform and live. So it's just like a next level thing to do. I don't know why the fuck any of us do it. We're idiots.
Yeah, I know. I see what you mean. But is there is there any like artists that you'd love to collab with?
In battle rap, the music industry, or all the above.
Just any artists in general, really.
Man, any artist in general. That's tough. Yeah, there's a ton. Um, I I'm a big fan of probably the rappers that had the biggest impact on me and the way I came up with my style were Lupe Fiasco and MF Doom. Very
Okay,
different rappers,
nice.
but
Yeah,
two guys that I just really look up to for the way they use language and just are crazy. So in terms of rappers, it would probably be those two guys. But I'd love to work with like different producers. Like I'd love to work with Pharrell, Kanye, Timbaland, like the goats. I should be thinking of things that are more realistic. I'd love to work with Doja Cat, Janae Aiko, because I'm in love with both of them. Um, shit. There's some artists that there's an artist named Collaborate from the Bay that I've been talking about collaborating with. Who he's one of my favorite dudes coming up. I have a song on my album featuring Zionai. I'm actually kind of releasing the album through his label. So he's one of my all-time favorite artists from the Bay, and it's cool I got to collaborate with him. So on that tip, I'd love to keep collaborating with people in the Bay Area who I've always looked up to and keep that going too. But yeah,
nice, nice man. And like,
Tommy York too.
yeah, fair one. Yeah, I like that. But there's a couple of like standard music related questions that I've been asking on each episode. So this one again is really difficult, but if you had to pick your all-time top three albums off the top of your head, what would you go with?
Ooh, my favorite albums. I kind of gave it away in my last answer, but Mad Villainy by MF Doom and Madlib.
Yeah.
Um, Kid A by Radiohead.
Okay. Nice.
It's tough. I think I would probably say Late Registration by Kanye West, just because
Nice.
of the effect that had on me coming up. But man, that list was tough.
Yeah, yeah, it is tough, and it's quite subjective as well, and it can change every day, I guess. But
Right.
it's yeah, I was actually having a bit of a debate this morning. Someone tried telling me that MF Doom's music hasn't aged very well at all, and he was trying to tell me that he's one of the worst rappers ever, and I was just like, mate, you do not know what
Give
you're
me this
talking
dude's
about.
address, bro. I'm coming to Wales.
Yeah, yeah, do it, but
um,
yeah,
he's right in the sense that MF Doom hasn't aged very well because he hasn't put out music or solo project or Mad Villainy 2 in the 10 years that he was supposed to been put it out. But his actual music ages incredibly well because he's doing shit. He was doing shit that rappers are just starting to do now with humor, self-deprecation, and even production-wise, like all the Griselda shit, like this more soulful, barren production is shit he's been doing. So
yeah,
that dude,
agreed,
that
man.
dude's crazy.
That Books of War beat is still one of my favorite beats of all time. I think it's amazing.
Facts. Yeah.
But yeah, and like, what would you say is the best live act that you've ever seen in terms of like shows that you've been at?
Mm, that's a really good question. I saw I saw Kanye Glow in the Dark tour when Graduation dropped,
Oh,
which was
nice.
like one of my first, it may be my first concert, and that was like unreal to me. I saw James Blake at Treasure Island Music Festival in the Bay Area, and that shit moved the fuck out of me. Like I almost cried. Um,
Yeah, I can imagine.
where's he from in the UK?
I've always just assumed that he's from London. I'm not 100% sure, actually.
He's fucking amazing, bro. I saw Flying Lotus. I think I saw him at Coachella and was incredibly moved. Um, and I saw Solange, Beyonce's sister.
Okay.
You familiar with her music?
Not overly. I've heard a few bits here and there, but I'm not.
She's dope, bro. Her pen game is crazy. She's very, very lyrical. But I saw her and I was amazed too. So that's probably my list.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, and I'm desperate to see Flying Lotus too, so I'm
It was
jealous on
crazy.
that front. But I
Don't do too
get
many drugs.
I get quite a lot of stick for this, but Graduation is probably my favorite Kanye album as well. So
You can't go wrong with Graduation, man. It's not my favorite, but it's probably the one that I know the songs the best because they're just that was the time when we actually listened to albums over and over again. Now where we just listen to something on Spotify and throw it away.
yeah, yeah, definitely, and yeah, I love that album. So again, very jealous you got to see that tour as well. But like the final music related question then is like, is there any kind of lesser known musicians that you're a big fan of that myself or the listeners might not be aware of?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, obviously, I've been working a lot with Ilmac, Chase, Paz, Eddie I, like the little battle rap underground, reverse live. But outside of battle rap, I've been kind of starting a little music collective of a bunch of dope artists. So there's a guy named Nefetz who is a really talented artist that I've been working a lot with. There's a guy named a group called Jonta Links. They're really crazy. My homie Arian. Oh no, now he goes by Dead Hyatt. He goes by Dead Hyatt, but he's probably the most talented rapper I know. And Cali J is a dude I work with from the Bay. Um,
Nice.
so all those are good folks to check out for sure. I can link you up.
Yeah, yeah, do it. To my knowledge, I've not listened to any of them, so I'd definitely check those guys out. But I've um I've been ending the episodes with three very random questions. But are you a big sports fan, and do you have a favourite sports team?
I'm a big basketball fan. And the Warriors are clearly my favorite. I was a fan of them back when they were shitty for 10 years straight, but now they're champions, and it's been a nice. I feel like it all paid off, you know.
Nice, yeah, nice change. But yeah, I think like I've always been into basketball, but never really watched much of it. It's not too accessible in the UK, but like growing up for me, pretty much everybody that I knew that liked basketball was a Lakers fan, and now that's kind of changed. That everyone is now a Warriors fan, so we're
Yeah.
we're pretty much glory supporters over here. But I'm um I'm a Timberwolves fan myself, so and simply because I like their jerseys. To be honest, that's the only reason that I support them. But yeah,
Those are fire jerseys.
they are. Yeah.
They're pretty trash.
But like if you could pick anywhere in the world for your next holiday or like your next big trip abroad, where would be top of your list and where would you go?
And that's a good question. I've been lucky to do some dope traveling in my life. I want to go to like Southeast Asia. Is that really my answer though? I don't know. There's some places in the states I want to go, like Chicago, New Orleans, that I've never been. Austin, Texas, just to check out the music scenes, because a lot of my favorite artists are from Chicago and New Orleans. Um, and I want to I want to go back to Peru because that's where my family's from, and they have that's the best food in the world right there, Peruvian cuisine. I put that up against anyone.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I've not really been to South America as much as I'd like to, but I had an ex-girlfriend in Germany. I lived in Germany for a while, and she lived in Peru for a year, and like everything that she cooked was Peruvian based. So I'm definitely with you there. The food was
Let's
incredible.
go. You know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you there, man. But like, where would you say is the coolest place you've been so far? Then.
Probably Peru. Um, to check out like where my family came from, and then my dad is from Hungary. He immigrated there when he was young, and we got to go back together as a family for the first time since he escaped when he was young. And we went to Budapest, and we even like found the old crib that he was like raised in, and he got to like bask in those childhood memories. And Hungary was a really cool place.
Oh,
And
amazing.
then got to go to this city in Morocco called Chefchaouen, and it's like a city that's like all little hobbit houses. They're like little clay houses, and they're all painted blue. So everything in the city is blue, and it has this amazing view of the ocean too. So it's like this blue little paradise. That place was crazy. So I'd say that's my list.
Yeah, some awesome answers, man. And yeah, I've been to Budapest and Hungary myself, and it's one of my favourite places too. So I
Dope.
definitely agree there. But the final question, which it's brought up some good but some terrible answers along the way. But you can pick one sweet and one savoury. But what are the go-to snacks in your opinion?
That's tough. That's a really good question, bro. We could do a whole podcast on this. So for sweet, I gotta go with Haribo frogs.
Okay.
Haribo makes these little froggies that are just the best, in my opinion, the best gummy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Um,
think so. So Haribo's like the popular sweet over here, but I don't think they do the frogs.
Oh, y'all are getting fucked over, man. You got to petition for those frogs. Um, and then savory. This is a bougie answer, but I fiend for like cheese. You know, you can catch me sneaking into any soiree, like just trying to get some cheese and crackers, like Gouda. I'm talking brie, all Gruyere, any fine cheese. You know what I mean? I think if this rap shit doesn't work out for me, I'm gonna just like lead a double life and just pop up at like cheese galas and just like pretend I'm like a cheese connoisseur. You know what I'm saying?
Like it. Yeah, I'm with you there. Do you guys have Branston pickle in the States?
What is that?
So I don't even know how to explain what it is. It's like it's a jar of so it's oh my god, it's a jar of like pickled vegetables in like a chutney based like black sauce.
That sounds amazing.
It is the perfect thing to go alongside cheese, man. If you guys don't have it out there, I'm gonna be heartbroken.
I fuck with a good chutney, but I don't think we combined that with a pickle before. I think that's some new shit that I need to be put onto.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gutted to hear that you don't have it, to be honest. It's probably not the best kind of description of it, but it is a bit like a chutney, but with pickled like small chunks of vegetables in. And it's quite kind of quite sweet tasting, but got a bit of a sour kick to it as well. But yeah, that's the best thing in the world.
Sounds fire.
You'll once Premier Battles book you, I'll make sure to bring a jar to the event with me, and we'll
Yeah, that's on my what's it called? The room package. Like when I go into my VIP room, I want some of that pickled chutney waiting for me.
definitely some Gouda, some Jacob's crackers, and pickle. It's a good shout.
Yeah, the Shawty's like, how much money is it to get you over? I'll be like, 2 jars of Princeton pickles and a plate of cheese, and you have me.
Yeah, it's a good plan. He'll do it as well. He'll do it. I'll put a word in and make sure it happens. But no, apart from that, man, that's pretty much all the questions done with. Like, is there anything that you wanted to plug on the show, or anything that you want in the description to the episode when it gets released?
Actually, you caught me on a good time because tomorrow I'm dropping my second single from B-list celebrities, Rick Moranis. So the album's called B-list Celebrities. So each song is named after a different B-list celebrity. And Judge Judy was the first single. The video came out, and I'm gonna be dropping a single and a video every month. Um, so basically, Rick Moranis is dropping audio tomorrow, and then the video will be dropping on Ruin Your Day the following week, and then after that, another single and video, and after that, the album will be coming out. So I'm hyped to put this out. It's definitely my best work, I think, and I've been working on it for a long time. And yeah, so whenever this comes out, it'll either be the audio or video will be out.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll make sure I put the links in the description too, and yeah, send it over once it's dropped, man, and I'll make sure to share it around too. But again, thank you very much for taking the time to come on, man. I really appreciate it, and I hope you stay safe over there. Anyway,
Appreciate you, man. This was a good interview. You're on your Nardwar shit, dog. So keep it going.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. That's the biggest compliment I've had so far, I think. So
All right.
yeah, no, thanks, man, and take care over there.
You too, bro.